Would I be the asshole for canceling my vow renewal ceremony and going more private? I, 35 female, and my husband, 35 male, were teens when we met. We were planning a wedding and at 19 years old I became pregnant. At the time, we lived with my dad and he threatened to kick us out if we didn't get married ASAP. This is after I bought the dress and all that, but it was still a courthouse wedding. We are coming up on our 15 years married this year and I wanted to have a little event at our new property to celebrate it. I announced that we were planning for Halloween. We are goth, witchy, back in January. My sister, 30 female, and her husband had their vow renewal last weekend, 3 years married. It was beautiful and sweet, I'm happy for her. However, she has assumed the role of wedding planner for my vow renewal. So far she has suggested I change the date to something more suitable for our dad. My dad and his wife moved 3 hours away where it snows all the time. She suggested I use her house for the venue, and even sending me dresses she thinks I should wear. She has told me, this isn't about you, it's about being considerate of others. Me in all my stubborn glory said, you know what, you're right, it's not about me, it's about dad, so I'll just do something more private and intimate with 2 close friends instead. Now, the idea of going somewhere random into the woods with 2-3 friends, getting all dressed up and doing a small ceremony sounds amazing and less drama. So, would I be the asshole if I cancelled it all and had the fall, Halloween theme in the woods without telling anyone else? Way off topic. But why did your sister have a vow renewal after only 3 years? But yes, run away and have a meaningful ceremony in the woods with your close friends. Not the asshole. Some people view weddings as the joining of families, some view them as the joining of individuals. Tell her your first wedding was about everyone else's wants and needs, this one is about yours. Why did your sister renew her vows after only 3 years? That's mental. There's the option of also growing a spine and telling her to keep her opinions to herself and taking back the planning and doing what you want, and if she doesn't want to attend so be it. Same for your dad, but going to the woods sounds lovely too. Not the asshole. Honestly, no one cares about your vow renewal. Have the celebration you want. This isn't about you, it's about being considerate of others. Lol, what? YWNBTA. It's your vow renewal. Do what you want. Would I be the asshole for bailing on a girls trip turned couples trip? Update. Thanks for the words of validation. It turns out the trip isn't happening at all now for totally unrelated reasons, so the whole thing is moot. However, I would like to clarify some stuff. A lot of people made disparaging remarks about my friend and or their partners, and I'd just like to say, I absolutely adore everyone involved. Except new boyfriend, I don't really know him, lol. My friend's spouse is amazing, and it's also okay for them to say, I was a little sad I can't spend your birthday with you. Did things change quickly to my own annoyance? Sure. But partner is not a loser or any of the other weird judgmental comments made about them in particular. More than anything though, my friendship spans years and has countless more wonderful, supportive, generous, kind, loving moments with these women than any form of negativity or animosity. This trip was the actual first time anything real issue popped up for us. I love my friends and was disappointed I wasn't getting girly time, but I'm not going to throw away a friendship over something that's frankly just kinda silly for me to be mad about even. I'm not deleting this post because I don't really care anymore, the situation is fixed and I still love my friends. The end. So my best friend decided for her birthday she wanted a girls trip. We booked a cabin and got bathing suits and budgeted for food and stuff. The whole idea was it was gonna be just us girls. Bestie, me, our other mutual bestie. We've been planning this girls trip for months. At some point during the final planning over the last 2 weeks, Bestie's husband expressed his feelings. We're a little hurt that he wasn't invited. So now the husband is coming. She also invited mutual bestie's new BF, so now it's 2 couples going and me. Note. I'm a lesbian and my partner is working abroad for the summer and all my other friends are busy, so I don't have anybody to bring with me. I'm kind of sad, annoyed because this girls trip has turned into a couples trip, and the cabin we rented only has 2 bedrooms, so I'm going to be the odd one out sleeping on an air mattress. Would I be the asshole if I bailed on this trip? I don't want a refund for my part in the cabin rental or gas money. I just really don't want to be the 5th wheel, sleeping alone in the living room while the couples cuddle and fuck, and I don't want to be the one lagging behind while the happy couples hold hands and stuff. I know a part of this is due to my jealousy that my partner's not here and theirs are. But I'm also just really upset that this is supposed to be a girls trip, now it's turned into a couples trip and me. Not the asshole at all. They changed the entire purpose of the trip. No one wants to be a 5th wheel and they aren't out any money. They do owe you because now instead of 3 people, there will be 4. If you bail, and they absolutely should return your money. I assume that the plan was going to be you would get a bed or shared bed when it was the 3 of you, and now you'd be downgraded to an air mattress. Hell no. Cancel, say it would be cool if you got your money back seeing as they will recoup their losses with the extra person, and that you will look forward to the makeup, girls trip. Not the asshole. They changed the character of the trip at the last moment. They are Oz for that, but in light of the fact that they turned it into a couple's trip on you without your input, they would be raging Oz if they did not offer to refund you. Not the asshole. They changed what kind of trip it is. Get your refund. They know have a 4-people split so should be able to graciously give you back what you put in. If they say you are overreacting, ask which of them wants the air mattress since it isn't a big deal. No, you would not BTA for wanting to bail on this trip. You agreed to it on the premise that it would be a girls trip only, not a couple's trip. I understand that your friend wants to share her birthday with her husband, but he and the other BF have now decided to infiltrate what was originally just going to be best friends hanging out. Jealousy aside, you thought this trip would be one thing and then, last minute, it's turning into something else. I say, back out, and let your friend keep your portion of the trip as a birthday present, so she doesn't feel like you're screwing her out of money. They changed the entire premise of the trip. You aren't obliged to participate, much less be a fifth wheel. Why WNBTA if you stepped out and I would ask for a refund of any contributions made? What kind of husband gatecrashes what is clearly a girl's trip? Is he a bit controlling or just a complete sad sack? Am I the asshole for not disclosing that I am not Christian? To preface this, I do commissioned artwork, and don't discriminate against any subject unless it's racist, homophobic, otherwise hateful, or sexually disturbing. I did a commissioned art piece with Christian iconography, a beautiful ornate cross, a saint, and scripture in calligraphy. The client was happy with my work, paid me, and then asked me what my favorite scripture was. I was honest and just said, oh, I don't really have one, because I'm not a Christian and wouldn't really know which ones I'd like. He became upset and told me that he felt lied to, because I have posted artwork of Christian subjects before, and he assumed I would be Christian. He said the art doesn't hold the same spiritual value, because it wasn't made with faithful intention. I was kind of unsure of what to say. I said, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I do artwork for everyone, and I am open to doing Christian artwork because it's for the client, not me. Should I be disclosing if I don't share a certain faith when commissioned to do artwork for it? Am I the asshole? Not the asshole, you don't discriminate, but apparently they do LMAO. Not the asshole Michelangelo didn't believe in the church and painted the Sistine Chapel. If it didn't matter to the Pope, who is this guy to judge? Also, his failure to vet you is not your concern. So, he assumed you were Christian, and since he was wrong, he felt lied to. That strikes me as odd. Also, is art made with faithful intention, magic or something? Not the asshole. Ethically or otherwise, no, you definitely don't have to disclose anything about your religious views for an art commission. I mean, if asked directly, I probably wouldn't lie about it, but that's only so you don't go to hell. I would say not the asshole. Provided you were not asked before the commission. They were looking for your skill as an artist and your art style. Not the asshole. Being commissioned to make Christian artwork is a long historical tradition. You were completely respectful. If straight girls can draw yaoi ships and humans can draw animals, I'm pretty sure you can draw Christian artwork. This guy is delusional if he thinks less of the artwork. It's still custom made with his desires in mind. What, does he think the church buys communion wafer crackers from the Vatican? Come on now. Am I the asshole for confronting my mom for asking my best friend about hiring me a prostitute? I'm 32 male, I have been single for most of my life. It bothers me sometimes but it never keeps me awake at night. I work all day so I don't usually attend the visits at my house. One day my childhood friend, 32 male, and other friends came to visit and my mom attended them. I heard some awkward laughing from my room. I work home office, but didn't pay much attention to it. When I finished my work and went downstairs to greet them, my best friend and another one asked me to come and talk to them in privately. Little weird but I go along with it. Turns out my mother asked them if they know of a prostitute they could hire so I get laid. She did this in front of all my friends with me being absent. I felt massively embarrassed and angry but I hanged with them until they left. Later that night I confront my mom about it, telling her why the fuck would she ever say such things in front of my friends. She replies with, oh don't be dramatic, they're your friends, it's okay. I tell her no. Some things can't be said in public like that, especially about your son's sex life. It made me look desperate for it. Then she started babbling about how sex is good for me and that she's worried I'm lonely. I appreciate her concern but this wasn't it. I told her to never do that again and she got upset as if I was attacking her for doing a good deed. Am I the asshole Reddit? What is wrong with these comments here? You're totally not the asshole. This is completely inappropriate behavior by your mom. Your sex life is a private thing and while she could talk to you in private about it and voice her concerns, It's none of her business to embarrass you in front of other people and try to arrange prostitutes for you against your will. You should probably get your own place and leave your mother behind. Not the asshole. But it looks like you live with your mom. In this case, you're still her little boy. And, well, there is some unhealthy dynamics. To prevent something like that in the future, get your own place and, well, your own life. I'm not even gonna read the body text, what the fuck. By the title alone I can determine that you did nothing wrong. All the people talking about, get your own place, sure, I guess, but there's nothing wrong with living with your family. Multi-generation households are financially and ecologically smart, but can lead to awkwardness like this. Also, it kind of sounds like this person doesn't live in the US, in which living with your family is a lot of common depending on the part of the world you live in. Don't move out or ditch your mom, bro, just because she said some stupid shit. Laugh about it and move on. It's not a big deal. Not the asshole, you're an adult, not her business. But your mom is. Move away from her.